I've met Dan at work. We've worked together for a few years, and from there, it's similar to what Dan had mentioned regarding you guys needing a design, and I made that design, but we'd been talking cars for a really long time, and from there, it's like, hey man, want to come on for a guest spot? I was like, tight, I can do a guest spot, and tricked me into doing it kind of consistently, and been doing it ever since.
Nice.
I do a bit of research. And I say a bit because we've kind of shifted gears in how that's been going a lot lately, but I like to make fun of stuff. I like to give Dan shit for Dan being Dan, and I like to talk Brian up because Brian doesn't like to talk. That's a tough one. I was thinking about it. I like kind of how Dan went with the kind of attainable, and then like the unattainable, but mine are both kind of attainable. So Aston Martin DB9. I just looked up the pricing. Pricing's like 90 grand, which in my current life, not attainable. But attainable would probably be 09 Spec B. It's a Legacy GT 2.5 into it. Still pretty high for like where I'm at in life, but it's the attainable one. An 84 Honda Accord that was once blue, but when I got it was seafoam green, just from bleaching, like sun bleaching. I had the car for exactly 1 week. On the way to get the title switched over to my name, I went out to start it and it was dead. Got a battery, replaced it, starter was dead. Replaced the starter, still did not turn over. That car ended up getting scrapped for 500 bucks. It's about how much it cost, so. H-U-A-Y-R-A.
Again, I don't know if that's right or not.
I'm pretty
Why
sure.
did you give him the easy one?
That's what.
That was right.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Only reason I know is because I just looked that up last night. None.
0 tickets.
Not one.
Wow. How does that happen?
So, I'm sure it's been close. There one instance in which me and my wife were in the car and she was driving. It was a rental, and I had gotten this. I want to say it was probably like a 2013 Dart Sport, over 100 miles an hour a couple times on the trip we were on, and only time she was driving the entire trip was on the way back to Texas, and shit you not, man, we were pulling into a little speed trap town. And that shit dropped from 70 to 45, and they caught her at 50. It would have happened to me if I was driving, but I was too tired to drive. So every other instance, don't get me wrong, I've had parking tickets because alternating parking's a bitch, and I used to live in a city in which that was a reality. So no speeding tickets though, no other traffic violations, never been pulled over.
Wow.
And I'm cautious enough, I don't feel like I'm a bad driver.
Yeah.
Dan. Currently I'm between cars, and I actually occasionally borrow my wife's Prius. It's not a good time, I don't suggest it. Right now, I would honestly say Chris Forsberg. Just the dude is out there doing his thing in his chosen profession of Formula Drift, and he's competing in tons of other driving series that involve drift. Plus he is doing stuff on YouTube, content creation. Then he even got the call up to the big leagues, if you will. Motor Trend On Demand kind of pulled him up to do some pretty insane shit. And he's got kids, family. That's my dude. I still root for him every time I know he's not gonna win every like race, and I'm like, man, really hope he gets it this time. Because he's older. He's like OG Formula D, and like he's got a bunch of like championships under his belt. He just hasn't won in a while, and I'd like to see it before it's over. So that's a tough one. There's a bunch because drifting is getting bigger. It's been big for years, but I want to say Formula D, but I gotta say Drift Games Extreme, which used to be the Irish Drift Championship. It's just hungrier drivers with less money in it, and that's where James Dean and Dean Carney both got their like start. So like two powerhouses in sport, and James Dean's probably the most winning driver in drift currently. So like, that's the one. And then there's a Red Bull sponsored series called Drift Masters GP, which is all the best drivers in Europe. That's just insane because they have the honest to goodness, coolest, most technical and ballsy courses that exist. You don't actually want to know that because it's more work than I'm willing to discuss. So currently, I used to blow dry, but it made my skin really dry. And then I bought one of those brushes that essentially has a like heating element in it, so my skin will stop drying out. That's how you see it. And beard oil and balm, of course. Preferred choice. Shout out to Grave Before Shave. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. If you're doing it while you're driving, exercising, sitting at home, doing nothing, we appreciate it. Any interaction that you guys can give us, we would appreciate that as well. Anything that you want to hear, see, give us a shout. We'll take care of it.